why you don't want to get too carried away with your calling. He's made it this far because he knows there's a hen over here, so... hopefully he'll break loose and come in here. Once I get a beat on him, get a visual, I'll get the camera running. Hopefully it's a good tom, because that's all I'm taking. Oh, that sounds like a real good guttural gobble. Alright, I just gotta watch the rain, folks. I don't want to ruin my camera. If he comes in, we'll get the camera running. Here we go, folks. That's a beautiful dog. My heart's pounding. Filming myself. My son just killed 2 gobblers on his piece of property. And there's a whole bunch of males. Yes! Wow! Holy cow! That's for you, my son Hunter. I'm Brad Walker, and we're about to go get my Tom. Let's go see what he looks like. Thanks for staying with me, folks. Like I told you, I'm so glad I reset and come in here. Let's go see what we got for a bird. You look like a beautiful bird. I mean, there were so many other gobbles behind him. Further off, they must have been with the hen. But let's see what we got, folks. Let me show you what I did here. Again, I set my alarm with a hen call. But let's go look at that bird together. Safety's on. Look how big this tom is. I mean, that's a beautiful bird, folks. It's raining, front blowing in, or blowing through. Oh man, that is a beautiful, beautiful bird. Maybe now we can touch him. I don't know, we'll see. Look at that beard. 9 or 10 inch beard. Tell you what, when you film in 1080p, wow, that is high quality. Beautiful fan. That's my bird right there, folks. Let me get this camera set up and we're going to do an interview for television. Stay tuned. I want to show you what I did with some feathers off one of our older turkeys that we shot. I put it on my decoy. Boy, didn't that work slick this morning. There he is right there. There's my homemade strutter. That is so cool. Look at that. Dumped him right in the head. 870 at about 30 yards. I love you, Hunter. Wish you'd have been with me this morning, but I knew you were tired and you had to go to school. 3:30 comes early, brother. I love you. Well, here he is. May 1st, 2012. And you got to see me take this really nice tom at about 6:07 this morning. And you know, the funny thing is, I have plenty of pre-footage of all these birds on this piece of property. And me and my son came in and made a makeshift blind. We put some pop-up chairs in it because the routine was they'd fly down onto this logging road and work their way out to the field. Well, I walked right under the roost. I roosted them last night. This morning I walked right under the roost, got in my ground blind. They gobbled, but they flew down in the field. They didn't fly down onto the road. I don't know if it's because I walked under the roost, which it may have been. I'm not saying that it wasn't. But because of that, I had to relocate behind my decoys down the skidder trail or the logging road and get behind my decoys. Let out a couple calls. Once I realized they were really responding to me, because yesterday, on the first day of hunting, a hen took my birds. Once I started calling, the hen took the birds. Now, I was a little worried about that today. I weren't even going to bring my calls, but I decided to. And I let out a couple calls. Once I realized they were responding to me, and I knew for sure that they were responding to what I was doing, I slowed my calling down. He came by himself. He come right to the top of the field, getting closer, but he was hung up. You know them big toms, they get hung up. So I went real quiet with my calling, 30 seconds or so between each one, and he'd get frustrated, he'd gobble and gobble and gobble. Finally, I went closer to a minute between each one, and I let out another call. I couldn't hear anymore. I look up, and he's already coming through the woods to my decoys. So it worked out perfect. You get to see him come in. He come in strutting. He went to my Jake first because I put the Jake right at the mouth of the field where he could look down just in case, and I had my love triangle set up over here. So he went to the Jake first, as you see, strutting. I was like, oh no, maybe this isn't going to work out. Then he decided, okay, I'm going back over to the hen and the strutter. So he started coming back over. I mean, my heart was pounding. I was giving you a go-by, you know, as to everything that was happening, telling you my heart's really pounding right now because he was a nice tom and I really wanted to get this bird. My son had got his Saturday on Youth Day. He got a double with one shot, 2 nice toms. And I'm really hoping that the footage came out all right because I was filming myself. So my son was a little tired this morning. He came with me yesterday and filmed me. And he was tired this morning, so I was like, look, get some sleep for school and I'll try to film myself. So it all worked out. He was just starting to leave too. Did you see that? After he came in and checked out the setup, there was a bunch of gobbles behind him, Jakes and other toms. So he's like, well, okay, I'm gonna go back to the action. So he's getting ready to leave, and I was like panicking. I was like, man, I gotta get this camera set centered before he leaves. And then, you know, he might have put his head down, and I was a little worried. Then I see it pop up in my crosshairs, and that's when I squeezed the trigger off.
Yes.
And I dumped him. It's been another successful day. Hope you enjoyed the show.